I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome to my channel. And welcome all my subscribers. And today I want to show you how I make a little skirt. And this is an very easy little skirt to make. And you can make it any length, any size, in any fullness you want. And you don't need my doll pattern book for this one, you just need a few measurements. But you may want to check out my Etsy shop for my pattern book as well. It has all sizes of dolls, dresses, and pants, and just all kinds of patterns that you might need for your doll. So this is what we need here. To make this skirt, we need a few measurements. We need her hip measurement, her waist measurement, and you can check this measurement out here, just right there. That's the widest place is where you want it. Because you don't want to get it all made, and it may be a little, if it's a straight skirt, you don't want it. You want it to go on. And then the length. Now you can make it, this is a short one. You could make a mini one, or you could make it floor length. You could make it maxi, whatever. But so with those measurements, you want to take the length of your skirt plus 1.5 inches at least. It depends on the size of the elastic you're using and the depth of a hem you want. Now for this one, I have got about 1/2 inch turned over for my elastic, because I'm only going to use 1/4 inch elastic to run through here. So turn this over, and this is my casing. Press this in, and just sew straight down here. And then you take the hem, and whatever width of hem you would like, you do the same. You just press in a little edge here, 1/8 inch or less. And then I've made this in about 3/4 inch. But if you want it, if you wanted a big wide hem on them, like they made in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s, then you would leave more fabric to turn in. And then when I have this sewn and this sewn, I take my elastic. Her waist is 7 inches, so I'm going to use 7 inches of elastic, and I will thread it through here. And I will leave about 1/4 inch out each side, so I have something to hold on to. And then, or I pin it first when I get it, so I don't lose it. Then I turn it this way, and I have my elastic sticking out here, my 2 pieces of elastic sticking out here. We can pretend, can't we? And then I just sew up here, lining up these edges very carefully. Try to get them right on so they're matching, and then the same up here. And that's your skirt. But oh, I forgot to show you how to put the trim on. Before we sew up this back seam, if you want to put some trim on it, just place it on top of the stitching that your hem, where your hem is. If you want to put 2 rows, 3 rows, or you could put roughly lace, just whatever, or you don't have to put anything. And then turn it over. You sew your trim on, and then you fold it here and you sew it up. Now there's another way of avoiding, see, I don't know whether you can see this or not. Let's see if I can. Right here, I didn't get it 100% even, and that can happen. But it's not too bad. And for this little skirt, I'm not too concerned. But it's very difficult on a narrow little skirt like this to get that, to sew that seam up differently. But here is one way of doing it. If you sew, this is my ends here. I've done with this. I've sewn this up part way. And then I just turn that in like that. And that gives me a nice neat hem. Gives me my finished edge along there. Now you can do the same with the top here. And just sew that straight up like that. Or sometimes when the elastic is really snug, when you're getting a lot of gathering in here, it's kind of hard to sew this all in afterwards. But you can also fold those edges in and bring your elastic out, and just, you'd have it's not a neat as edge here, but it would easily work. See, if you just take your elastics like this and then sew it up. But if you want to put your elastic inside, like I did with this one, and it is possible, but if you're, can be kind of tricky, let's put it that way. How I like to join my elastic is to take a fine, thin piece of fabric, but a solid piece, like something that's not going to be fraying out too much, or even a piece of, but lightweight. Let's see, where's my end? And I sew the one piece on like that, and then I bring the other piece and I join it like that. And then I stitch it, this piece, and you can sew it for, just make sure you got it well sewn. And then you can trim the edges of this off. And that gives you a nice, no bulk in the seam. Like if you take and put your elastic one on top of the other, which will work too, and sew it there, sometimes that gives quite a bit of bulk. It's just another way of doing it. And then you pull it in to the seam like this. Yeah. And then you fold that down over top. And stitch it. Now, sometimes it's a little tricky to get this under the sewing machine to sew it. So you, especially with this size should be okay. But with this small, you might want to just hand stitch that. Stab myself with the pin. Now I'm going to show you this little skirt that I made, and it's done exactly the same way. And I have to be careful here. She's going to lose her undies. So we don't want to lose her undies. I think we got it now. You see, she's fairly snug going through here, our big part of her bottom. But it does work. But you have to be. Now I'm going to tuck this top in. And you can see how cute that little skirt is. They're both cute. But you can use this for any size of a doll. As I said, you just need to use your measurements. So be sure and check my Etsy shop. Please subscribe. Leave me a comment. Touch the thumbs up. That helps my channel grow. And I'm trying to get to 500. That's my next goal. And I'm few off, so anybody that hasn't subscribed, please subscribe and help me out. And follow me on Instagram and anything else. Thanks for watching. Bye now.